what's funny? There's a sound that every Indian knows. Not a ringtone, not an alarm. Just that. And somehow that sound alone makes things okay. Think about it. Headache. Guess at the door. Failed at something. It's raining. It's 2 a.m. and you're still working. In other countries, these are just moments. But in India, these are chai moments.
Why it is always chai? Why not coffee or juice?
That's exactly the question. And the answer is way older than you think. Before tea ever entered Indian home, India already had something. Kada, ginger drinks and tulsi water. We were already using spices like ginger for warmth, cardamom for digestion and black pepper for healing. So we already had the soul of chai. We were just waiting for the leaf.
Wait, so tea wasn't even Indian originally?
Complicated answer. The tea leaf? Actually yes. Wild tea plants were already growing in Assam in Northeast India. Communities like Singpho were using them for centuries.
So then, what did the British actually do?
They built tea plantations in Assam, Darjeeling and Nilgiris. And they turned it into a business and started exporting it. But here is the part they didn't plan for. They underestimated what Indians can do. When you give us ingredients, we don't follow recipes. We'll have conversations with food. Ginger went in, cardamom went in, milk, sugar, thyme. And that's how masala chai was born. Britishers bought the tea, but India gave it a soul. Then railways changed everything. Millions of people, hundreds of cities, different languages, different problems, different lives. But at every station, same call, same cup. And that's when chai stopped being a drink and it became a feeling. But here is what nobody tells you. Chai didn't stay at one place. It traveled across India and each place it touched changed it. Assam, where tea was actually born. People there drank Rongasa. It's a red tea with no milk, no masala. Just the purest taste of leaf. Now let's go to North, Kashmir. Cold mountains, long winters. Chai has to do more work there. Noon chai, pink, salty and comforting. And sometimes it is served in a bowl. And then kawa, saffron, almonds and cardamom. It is not just a drink, it is a ritual. Let's go even higher, Ladakh. At those altitudes, your body is fighting to just stay warm. Chai there is butter tea with just butter and salt. It is not taste for them, it is survival, for their energy and for their life. And then it's our city, Hyderabad. When Persian cave culture met Indian chai culture, they didn't shake hands, they sat down together. And they brew it something together. Irani chai, which is rich and creamy and best with Usmania biscuit. Hyderabad didn't just adopt chai, it gave chai a place to belong. And Mumbai, a city that literally doesn't stop. Here, the chai is half the glass and double the energy. Because in Mumbai, even your break is efficient. Coffee belongs to cup, but chai, it belongs to conversations. In India, we don't just drink chai. We sit with it, we'll confess things over it, and we'll celebrate with it. And we fall in love sitting next to someone who is holding it. So the next time, if someone looks at you and says, "Chai piyoge?" remember, they're not offering tea, they're offering themselves. Chai is not just a drink. Chai is India in a cup.